Did the IMF and a group called the Digital Currency Monetary Authority unveil a new CBDC at their spring meeting 2023? There seems to be an awful lot of confusion and a bit of misinformation surrounding this, so I'm going to get you guys through it, and we're going to figure this one out together. Let's get to it. Hello, everyone. My name is Sean. I am the Crypto Smith. I do appreciate you guys coming back and checking out a video about a CBDC called the UMU or UNICOIN. Now, it is going to be confusing because there seems to be two different UNICOINs going around here, and I want to break down what's happening with this information that came out from Kitco, which I think is a relative decent provider of information out there in the crypto space and in news in general. Also, really known for their gold and silver information and pricing. And they reported April 10th, 2023, so just a couple of weeks ago, UNICOIN, a global legal tender settlement CBDC, unveiled at IMF Spring Meetings 2023. During last week's International Monetary Fund Spring Meetings 2023, the Digital Currency Monetary Authority, the Dcma, announced the launch of an international central bank digital currency known as the Universal Monetary Unit, UMU, which is symbolized by the ANSI character U with an umlaut. According to a press release announcing the new currency, UMU, also known as UNICOIN, is a legal money commodity that can transact in any legal tender settlement currency and functions like a CBDC to enforce banking regulations and protect the financial integrity of the international banking system. So UMU adopts a central bank monetary policy framework to ensure it has continuous purchasing demand, minimal price volatility, and annual asset pricing targets, the announcement said. I mean, it seems pretty legit, right? I mean, the IMF is unveiling a CBDC. Okay, sounds important. Let's dig a little further. Here's a article from Zero Hedge, and this one is Saturday, April 15th, so 5 days after that, which is just about a week ago. IMF unveils new global currency known as the Universal Monetary Unit to transform world economy. This also sounds very important. I want to know, how can I get involved? How can I profit from this, right? We're in the crypto space. That's what we're here for. Here's UNICOIN. I mean, it's a pretty cool looking coin. The Universal Monetary Unit, also known as UNICOIN, is an international central bank digital currency that has been designed to work in conjunction with all existing national currencies. This should sound off alarm bells for all of us because the widespread adoption of a new global currency would be a giant step forward for the globalist agenda. Now, this article kind of goes in that direction of CBDCs are bad, the government's evil, they're going to have total control. And they really go through here and kind of give credibility to this new CBDC known as UMU or UNICOIN. So let's look at what is the Digital Currency Monetary Authority. Here's their website. Here's that UMU, right, with the U with the umlaut over it. I like saying that. A lot of flags. Okay, so all currencies. DCMA is a world leader in the advocacy of digital currency innovations for monetary authorities. Now, digging a little further into this, there is no government out there. There are no government agencies that recognize the DCMA. It seems that the DCMA and the founder of it basically made up their own authority over the cryptocurrency market. The UNICOIN Network. The UNICOIN Network is a decentralized international banking network open to central banks, retail and commercial banks, fintech, governments, and cryptocurrency exchanges. So again, let's go into, if you look at the website and you dig through everything, click on some links like here, this page here, UNICOIN Network. Look at this. These are just placeholders and just names. Like, you can't click on anything. There's no contact information. There are no team here. You can't see who's running this, who's involved with this. The CBDC site. CBDC is cryptocurrency reimagined for banking. It gives you some information, but none of these are clickable. Right, this is a very, very basic website. So probably not something you would think it has some sort of connection with the IMF and CBDCs. Let's go look at their Twitter. Here's the DCMA Twitter page. They've got 401 followers. One of them is me, because I just wanted to see what they're doing and what they're putting out there. They've got a total of 2 posts, so obviously this is a very new Twitter page. And one of the posts is from Finance Yahoo. Right, they also did another article on the IMF dropping this CBDC, at the spring meeting, and that's it. There's nothing else to it. So let's talk about the IMF real quick. And one of my basic questions when this thing came out and I read this, I was wondering, why would the IMF need a CBDC? Why would they be working on a CBDC or endorsing a any certain CBDC, right? The IMF is not a central bank. They don't process payments. They don't do anything with actual money. They're a monetary policy maker. That's what they do. They kind of says right here, what role does the IMF play in monetary policy and central banking? The IMF promotes the effectiveness of central banks through its policy advice, technical assistance, and data collection. So it collects data, it looks at how central banks are transacting with each other, and puts out guidance on how it can be more effective. Essentially, that is what they do. And then they give their opinions on certain monetary policies in other countries, how things could be better, obviously how it could be more centralized, because that's really what they're all about. But the IMF doesn't need a central bank digital currency, nor would I think they would endorse a specific one, knowing that many different countries are going to all have their own central bank digital currency, and their role is going to be making sure that these CBDCs are all playing nice with each other and are all getting along, and the transparency involved and able to move money from one place to the other in a much faster and effective manner. Let's go to the UNICOIN Network's website. Now, here's the website for the Universal Monetary Unit, or UNICOIN. It, again, is a very basic website. If you just scroll down here, UNICOIN stakeholders, let's go to banks. It's just a page. You can't scroll. There's nothing to click on. Fintechs, again, just a page, nothing to scroll on. Let's go down here. Let's see, how about composite digital currency? Nope, it is just a page, nothing to click on. There's no information provided here with any of this stuff. Again, no team, no contact information, no privacy information, no legal disclaimers. It's very, very weird, right? To me, this seems like a fraud. It seems like a scam. I don't know if it is. I can't really call it that, but I'm going to say it's scam adjacent. So going through Twitter, I found a thread from Crippen Rider, and shout out to Crippen Rider for breaking down some of these red flags. Pretty much the same things I've seen on the websites and regarding DCMA, and he puts out some more information on those topics. So here he just starts, the Digital Currency Monetary Authority is making moves and expanding its reach through Twitter with its UNICOIN network and UMU, the native UNICOIN. Who are they and what do they offer? So the founder is working on UNICOIN since 2013. That's what they state. Yet LinkedIn says 2018, just 2 employees. They refer to themselves as a business, yet there's no registered corporate structure. Let's see. I noticed this as well. There's no white paper, no contact page, no terms of use, no privacy policy, no legal risk, no open roles, no developer resources, and no licenses listed on their site. They claim to have collaborated with the UN and the WF, right, the World Economic Forum, on Project YETA, but no mention of DCMA, UNICOIN, or UMU is made. The basic explanation that the DLT was formerly known as YETA blockchain, which is now extinct. So it's a failed project from the people who brought you the DCMA. And let's go down a little further. Daryl Hubbard, founding member and executive director. You might ask about the founder's background. Fortunately, he registered on gbaglobal.org and copy and pasted his whole bio into the summary of experience section, so that gave them some information. Daryl Hubbard, as we go into his background, we'll quickly find that there is a third name that is used, this time in conjunction with the UNICOIN network, the so-called UB stablecoin. So this is another project that apparently was being worked on by that same individual. And we'll scroll down a little bit more, and you can go find Crippen Rider. And if you want to go through this whole basically red flag write-up on the DCMA and UNICOIN, you'll get some more information. The interconnection. From what I've gathered, this is most likely how it evolved over time in Mr. Hubbard's world. Yet a blockchain ICO failed, rebrand to UNICOIN network. UB stablecoin got no traction, rebrand to UMU. Formation of DCMA to market credibility. And that's what I'm saying. There is no reference from anybody, from any legal authority, any governmental agency that mentions DCMA. Did the IMF make any comments regarding the DCMA? There are no official remarks from the IMF addressing their position on DCMA and its stablecoin UMU. I was on the IMF's website and I did search thoroughly for UMU, DCMA, UNICOIN, and there is absolutely nothing listed anywhere on it. Will this be the end of XRP? No, of course not. And then he gives his opinion. It seems very dubious and possibly a fraud. I can't call it either because I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe there's something behind. Loki, go lay down. I can't really call it either because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe there's something there. However, I would caution you, if there was a coin or a token or an ICO that came out based on the UMU or UNICOIN or the DCMA, I would be very, very careful. I don't believe this really is anything. I think this is something somebody made up, hoping that somebody would, some other agency would find it and find it useful. And they have done, some work already with websites and all that. But yet there's really no structure there. There's no blockchain there. There's no CBDC there. There's nothing there of substance. Now, again, what has the IMF said about this? Well, sure enough, IMF denies involvement in purported CBDC. This was April 17th, so about a week ago. The Global Financial Group says it is not connected to UNICOIN or its parent firm. The International Monetary Fund said in a statement to Crypto Slate that it is not involved with the purported CBDC named UNICOIN. On April 10th, the DCMA announced a central bank digital currency called the Universal Monetary Unit, UMU, or UNICOIN. The IMF has denied all connections to the project, stating the IMF has no involvement in the DCMA or UNICOIN. So that's pretty much it. And I think if you go through and you do a little research on these different websites and the articles, you will notice that it doesn't seem right? It just didn't have a good vibe for me. One of my first questions was, why would the IMF be rolling out some sort of a CBDC or endorsing a specific CBDC? That didn't make any sense to me. Now here is the other bit of confusing information, because UNICOIN is an actual project. It's a product. There is something that's called UNICOIN out there, and Rosie Rios is actually associated with this project. Who's Rosie Rios? She is the former Treasury of the United States. She also sits on the board of Ripple. Now, this really isn't a cryptocurrency project per se. It is more kind of a business crowdfunding for business startups, involving a bunch of wealthy people and famous people. And you can invest in this, but your investment goes into invest in startups and business startups and probably tech startups as well. But I'm not going to go into what exactly this is, but it is a real thing. And this is where a lot of confusion lies. UNICOIN is a real thing, right? That first one that I showed you. So UNICOIN is a real thing, right? Here is the coin itself that they're going to be using, or that represents the digital currency that you're going to be able to invest in. And if you'll go back to that second article I showed you, right? They showed a picture of this. This is why it's very confusing, because this is not the UMU. So they're kind of conflating these two projects together. So now, what do I think of the DCMA and the UMU? I would say it's probably a lot of, I would say there's really nothing to it. So hopefully this cleared up a few things for you. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments down below. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe, as it does help my channel grow. And for that, I appreciate you guys. And we will see you next time.